Welcome to the Bartenders Anonymous podcast. I've been fucking with these levels for about 35 minutes because I got a different little doohickey that I'm messing with because I got a gaming PC and that's taken up the whole room in there and I have not put my recording software on it yet. So we're in the living room with the laptop and my mobile setup, and it's a big old pain in the ass. So now I'm going to go back and listen to it and see if it sounds normal. All right. That sounds pretty normal, except with headphones on, it sounds insane. So, that being said, let's do the fucking podcast finally. Hopefully this ends up sounding relatively normal and not too insane. But I got to do it without headphones because for me to get these levels right, I had to take the headphones off. So we're going another week in the books, and managed to get through my first two DUI classes. The lady's super chill. She's really nice, and nobody else shows up to the classes yet. So it's literally just me and her, and we just like bullshit for half an hour, and then sometimes I pee in a cup, and then she sends me on my way. And but she's so nice that it's like 30 minutes goes by pretty quick, and it's like bullshitting like with your auntie or something. And yeah, she's not trying to like screw me over. Except for with the scheduling. The scheduling was a little whack, but other than that, it's like go in there, tell her about my week, kind of. We talk about what's going on. Hawaii's on fire. We talk about that a little bit. And, yeah. I mean, and we talked about movies and the real estate economy. Just stupid shit. And then before I know it, she's like, all right, well, you can basically go. The last one I went in, though, she did kind of go over a couple of things that are like DUI class kind of stuff. Just that like your thoughts affect your emotions, and then your emotions affect your behaviors. And so if you're going to a job and you're like, I hate this job, then you're going to think like that, and then it's going to affect your behavior. And I was like, yeah, past 4 years of my life, basically. So, yeah, I get that. So there'll be some good stuff in there, I think. And yeah, so whoever listens to this, you can hear about DUI classes and you can learn from me. What great entertainment. But yeah, basically trying to go back and look at my notes because I actually took some notes this week because last podcast fucking sucked. One, because I deleted the first one because I fucked up the audio. Probably like I'm kind of fucking this audio up. But next week I'll probably put the software on my new PC and be back to more of a stable setup. But this is like a little portable like podcast thing that my buddy got me. So it's got like presets and shit. That's why it's got like little buttons you can press and then they do stupid shit. Gunshot. You gotta have gunshot on your podcast apparently. And then some crows for awkward moments. And then if it's really boring, then you get that one. So I don't know. Those are kind of funny, but it's kind of a pain in the butt to set the levels on it. Other than that, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I've been just playing video games, cleaning my house. It's a lot of the same shit. Nobody wants to buy my BMX bikes, so the bike shop is kind of in the toilet. I actually just took the first bike I bought. I rode it down to the gas station to get some pouches today, and it's pretty smooth. But brand new bike, first time riding it. It's like the cranks were kind of creaking a little bit. Once I got them going, they kind of start breaking in. But I leaned back at one point to try and do a little manual, and the handlebars just like moved immediately because I didn't tighten them down enough. So luckily I'm the first one to ride it, and I didn't give it to somebody, and then the handlebars move and they crash or something. So it's probably good to test the bikes out a little bit before I sell them anyways. But I think I'm probably just going to just ride the fucking bike. I've even thought about just parting it out and putting parts on my old BMX bike. And I don't know. I think I should probably ride it first, though, because I might just like it how it is. But I'm just so used to my old one that, emotional attachments and whatnot. But Let's see. What else did I do this week? I sewed a patch on a hat because my heat gun is fucking up. I feel like I did that one the week before. I probably talked about that. And then I got a new black hat with a black and white dead fish that I started putting on with a green thread that looks kind of cool. And as I was doing it, the needle I was using like snapped in half, and I was like, "Oh shit! I didn't even think that was a possibility." It's just like you start a new hobby, and then you find new problems that would arise, and then you got to figure it out. So I had the knot all good, and then my needle broke, and so then I had to fucking improvise and try and tie a new knot and get it through or whatever. But I ended up getting it on there. I'm actually wearing it right now, and it looks halfway decent. It's kind of cool with the black and white and the green thread. I like it. You look on the inside, and it's kind of looks kind of funky because I had to like redo a knot and stuff. But that's on the inside. You don't even see that, so whatever. And let's see. I did go get a gaming PC. That was like $1,300 or something. I think it was on sale for $1,200. And so yeah, spend a bunch of money on a fucking desktop so I can play some nerdy ass game. My buddy came over and he like helped me set it up and stuff, and so it was all running good. Got this new game called Baldur's Gate, and it's like one of those games where it's like, okay, I hit you, and now you hit me, and it's essentially you're like a Dungeons and Dragons character, and that's probably some of the nerdiest shit I've ever done. But man, I got some new headphones that were like they're like the same price as my Beats headphones, and they're way nicer. And they've got like the little rumble pack thing in it, so it's like when there's like a dragon fucking breathing fire or some shit, it's like rumbling all cool. And then I got my nice monitor set up, and it's pretty immersive. It's actually pretty sick. So I'm down with it since I'm going to be grounded for the next 3 months. So I might as well spend some money on some toys so I have something to fuck around with and keep me busy. So they were trying to get me to like get a new keyboard and a new mouse, and it's like, and I was like, it comes with one, right? Though, like it comes with like a gaming keyboard and a gaming mouse, and they're like, well, yeah, but I mean, after a month, you're gonna be like, oh, I need to upgrade, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm just gonna take the shit that it comes with, and I'll use that until it breaks or I hate it, and so I'm not gonna like just throw them away. But these PC heads, like my buddy Nick, and then even the Best Buy lady was like, you're going to want a new keyboard. You're going to want a new mouse. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm also a cheap ass motherfucker who's already spending like $1,300. So I did invest in the headphones. The headphones are sick. I'm glad I got those. But just getting used to like using a keyboard and mouse to play a video game it's kind of weird. So start with the little Dungeons and Dragons game. And it's like it's this whole immersive story, and you go and you talk to people, but then you got to like make choices in the conversation, and it's like, I mean, it is kind of like real life where it's like, do you want to be an asshole, or do you want to be nice, or do you want to be cunning? And like every different thing that you pick is going to have a different outcome, so you got to like think about it before you pick, but you got to pick something. It's got to go one way or the other. I don't know, it's kind of weird and super nerdy, but I got time to burn, so I'm like all in there. I got my dude's like a ranger with his crossbow and a sword, and he's like a dark elf or something. And I don't know. It's kind of stupid, but it's pretty fucking fun. And I can only play so much Far Cry and then Call of Duty, where I'm like, can I just do something that's like kind of easy, and I can just kind of watch a story unfold, and then I click and I click and I click and I loot, and yeah, whatever. So there's that. As far as worked my couple of days, and the dumb guy still continues to like baffle me when he tries to talk to me about like bartending and shit. And I'm like, let's see, I'm trying to put something in my note. I feel like almost everything he says I got to put in my notes because it's just so asinine. I got through a Saturday. It was like the first real kind of chaotic Saturday. And of course, when it's all done, and I'm like, man, that was kind of messy and busy and shit. And like everybody that's worked there for more than 2 years is like, oh, that's nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. But got through it and kind of whatever, normal, busy, kind of crazy Saturday night. And then I'm like counting all the shit. I can't remember if this was Saturday or Sunday, but I'm like kind of waiting on the dishwasher guy. And he's kind of, I don't know if he like does crack or something. He's a little fucking out there. And so I got to wait for him to do his shit before I can pull the machines. And so I'm kind of dilly dallying around. And then he comes out at some point and he's like, hey, can my boy use the bathroom? And I was like, what? And he's like, can my boy use the bathroom? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, well, that's kind of fucking sketchy. I'm like, your boy. And I'm like, what do you mean, dude? And he's like, my kid. Can my kid use the bathroom? And I'm like, oh, yeah, of course. Like, why didn't you just say that? But the way he said, like, my boy. And I instantly was like, oh, you're going to let your fucking homie in here so he can just jump me and, like, take all this cash? But it was just his kid. And his kid was super nice. And he's like, this is da-da-da. And he, like, uses the bathroom. And then his kid's like, blah, blah, blah. We're going to go fishing and do this. And he was a super sweet kid. But for, like, 30 seconds, I was like, I'm getting robbed. It's only, like, my third or fourth week, and I'm going to get robbed. Here we go. And so whatever. Nothing happened. But I was like, Jesus, man. Don't let your boys in here. Because it does get kind of sketchy when you're the last one there and there's all this money and you take the garbage out or something. You got to like kind of check your six. But whatever. Nothing happened. Everything's fine. Let the dude's kid use the bathroom. But for that second, I was like, oh, it's on. Here we go. And then that freaking dumb guy, I think it was Sunday night, we're kind of like, the rush is over. It wasn't really that busy, especially compared to Saturday. And we're all kind of just bullshitting and talking. And he approaches me and he's like, hey, man, I just wanted to say, like, if you ever, like, need help back here or, like, need me to jump in, like, I see that, like, sometimes you get in the weeds too, you know, and I'm like, I can do just as good as you. Like, I can run the bar too. So I'm just like, and I'm like, yeah, man, I appreciate that. But, like, when I'm back here, you just got to be patient and just let me get to it. Because whatever it is, you just got to wait an extra 30 seconds. And that's going to be faster than if you come back here and we're bumping into each other. And he's like, all right, well, I just wanted to, you know, because I'm like, I can bartend too, and I can do it just like you can. And I'm just like, I kind of just like laughed because I'm like, I don't even know what to say at this point. We like kind of went around in circles for a minute talking about it because he's like trying to plead his case that he's just like just as good a bartender as me. And I'm trying to be nice but also stern at the same time where it's like, no, you're not. Like, just let me do it. When I'm running it, just like let it be. If I'm not behind the bar and you got to come back here and pour a beer or something, like that's fine. But if I'm back here, like, don't come back here. And so it was kind of awkward. And like, after he made the comment, like, he's like, I can run it just like you can. And I like laughed at him. He like walked away. And then one of the regulars is like sitting there listening to the whole thing. And when he walked away, the dude's like, you know, you're going to have to learn to not be so fucking nice. And I'm just like, yeah, I know, but I'm the one that has to deal with this shit. So, like, let me do it my way. It'll be fine. And he's like, all right. And I, like, said something later down the road. One of the servers, like, made a comment about, like, napkins in the sink or something, like, where we dump the glasses. And she's like, yeah, you should tell people, like, not to do that. And I was like, oh, yeah, I probably do it, too, and da-da-da. And the regular's like, there he goes again, just being the fucking nice guy. And I'm just like, ugh, yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's easier for me to just be nice than to have to, like, talk to somebody like they're a child and, like, be not aggro, but be like, put my daddy voice on and be like, hey, man, no. Like, the answer is no. Like, it's just so awkward. And I shouldn't have to do it, but I know it's going to get to a point where I'm going to have to, so got to learn to be more bossy. Because even the owner or whatever, like, somebody asked me about, like, who I'm cutting first or whatever, and I was like, I don't freaking know. And the owner's like, well, you're going to have to kind of get used to doing that stuff because you're kind of the boss when I'm not here. And I'm like, that's so fucking awkward. But luckily, I only have to deal with it a couple times a week. But now that I'm doing my classes, I can't work Mondays or Wednesdays, which is whatever. But then I told the boss, I was like, well, I can work whatever other days. So, and she's already started plugging me in. So next week I work Tuesday and Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday. So that'll be my first like 4-day week, which is good because I need to make some money, anyways. Because I just spent like $1,500 on this PC setup, so it's good that I need to work more, anyways. Keep me busy, and I'll like get better at the job the more I do it. So that'll be good. But my relaxed schedule is becoming a lot less relaxed. Doing my 2 classes a week, which fly by. It's just like a matter of having to show up for them. So show up to the classes twice a week and then go to work. And then I'm going to have to start doing, I have to do an extra session that's like a counselor session. I have to do that twice a month. So she'll plug me in to start doing those. And it's just like all this fucking shit that I have to kind of keep organized. But I'm trying to be a more organized person in general anyways, so not a bad thing, just something I need to start getting used to instead of just being like, oh, what do I want to do today? I'm going to fucking ride my bicycle and play video games. It's like kind of snap back to reality. Let's see, what else I got going on here? DUI stuff, blah, blah, blah. The dumb guy. Oh yeah, there's another thing he said. He's like, yeah, one of my guests said I could join their motorcycle club. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Focus on just learn how to do your job. That was another thing is like that night that he made that comment. I'm like, I had to take one of his tables. I'm like, I had to do your job already because you couldn't keep up and you're like asking to try and help me with my job. I'm like, no, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Whatever, regardless. So easy to fucking talk shit about people. That's something I think I put in my notes because like at the end of the night, sometimes if it's just me and a server and we'll just like talk shit. And at first I'm like, God, this is really negative. We're just like talking hella shit. And then another server was like, oh yeah, so and so hung out with the owner and they were just like talking shit. And then in my head, I was like, this is kind of how restaurant stuff gets taken care of. Because it's like if somebody's talking shit, then you're fucking up. Like, just don't give them a reason to talk shit, and like then it'll get fixed. So, I mean, that's one way you get stuff accomplished. You go, okay, well, let's fucking talk shop, talk shit. What are we talking shit about? Okay, that's what needs to get fixed. And it's like, it seems really negative, but it actually kind of makes sense. It's like, yeah, let's talk shit until it's fixed. Let's see, what else? Fucking dumb guy. Broke a bunch of glasses, spilled shit all over my paperwork. I feel like my notes are just turning into that guy being a dumbass. I don't know. I'm running out of shit here already. What are we at? We're at 19 minutes? Look, we're almost done. I just think I don't like not wearing the headphones. I like wearing the headphones. Let's see. I'm fucking doo-doo-doo. Oh, yeah, the day I got my fucking gaming PC, the internet went down like the day before. I was like, oh, these fucking stupid white people problems. Because I went to bed hella early that night because the internet was down. I was like, well, there ain't nothing else to do, so looks like we're going to bed. I've also been just going to bed early, though. And the more I do it, the more it's like, all right, it's 9:30, and I just feel myself getting tired, where it's like, oh, yeah, I can just go lay down and go to bed. Start waking up at like 7 or 8, get up, make some coffee, go about my day. It's actually kind of nice. And you feel like you have way more energy. And then start feeling like a 40-year-old man, though, because around 2 or 3 o'clock, I'm like, I could hella take a nap right now. So, I don't know. I'm still working on the whole having a normal schedule thing with all my dumb shit I got going on. Yesterday I was feeling tired, so I made myself a little coffee espresso thing, and I was being super gay. I lit a candle because I had cleaned the whole house, and I was like, it kind of smells in here. I'm gonna light a candle. So I light a candle, make myself an espresso, and I'm just feeling super zen, and I'm staring out the window, stirring my coffee, and I see this kid with a Ducks jersey and a bike helmet riding a unicycle past my window in Crocs nonetheless. And I'm like, what the fuck? I don't want to have kids, man. Have the kid that's riding a unicycle in Crocs. But, I mean, I guess that's a skill. You got to develop some skills, and that's what he wants to do. And he was pretty good at it. He didn't crash. I was kind of waiting for him to eat shit. And he rode past kind of like he was still learning. But he's got it down for the most part. And I was like, that's fucking something kind of weird, but whatever. Also, my counselor told me that the Hawaii thing could have totally been a conspiracy because there's a bunch of real estate people trying to buy all the property already. So they think maybe somebody lit the fires to burn shit down so they could swoop in and try and buy all the property super cheap. So that the white man can try and take over Hawaii even more than the tourists and we all do already. And I'm like, dude, that is fucked up and could be totally true and we'll never know. Fucking weird shit, man. And I've been to Hawaii twice. And I love Hawaii, but I go there and try and I know I'm just a dumb white guy here to relax and take advantage of how nice and relaxing it is here. But I would like it to stay Hawaiian, That's why it's Hawaii. If it gets just taken over completely, then it's going to slowly just become fucking California or whatever. Or just a bunch of dumb rich white people, so hopefully that's not the case and they rebuild and everything they become stronger for it and they fix the sirens or whatever. I guess the sirens didn't go off or they didn't notify people. I don't know. I'm really bad at at following the news. So I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I hope that I hope they figure it out. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty much it for my week. Doing classes, doing my dumb podcast, trying to learn something, trying to get better, trying to become better. So the work in progress continues. And all right, I'll go back and listen to this. Hopefully these levels aren't all fucking stupid and it just sounds like a normal podcast, but I guess we'll find out. And I can test out my little mobile setup here because it's good to get out of my little office anyways. Get kind of cooped up in there sometimes. So, all right, the Bartenders Anonymous podcast signing off. Hope you guys have a good week. Don't bite anybody's head off. Be nice to the dumb guy at work as best you can. Be stern. Sometimes you got to be stern. So, all right. That being said, mission accomplished. I do like just having the little buttons. I haven't learned how to do that on my other thing yet, so whatever. All right, peace out, Girl Scouts. Love you bunch.